How does DAP enable versus code language agnostic debugging? If you have ever wondered how Visual Studio Code can debug multiple programming languages without breaking a sweat, you are in the right place. Let's uncover how the Debug Adapter Protocol plays a key role in this process. At the heart of Visual Studio Code's debugging capabilities is the Debug Adapter Protocol, often referred to as DAP. This protocol sets up a standard way for Visual Studio Code to communicate with different debugging tools. It does this by creating a bridge between the Visual Studio Code interface and various programming languages. Imagine you are working on a project in Python, and you want to debug your code. When you start a debugging session, Visual Studio Code does not need to know all the specific details about Python. Instead, it communicates with a debug adapter that understands Python. This adapter translates the generic debugging commands from Visual Studio Code into commands that Python can understand. This process is made possible through a format called JavaScript Object Notation, commonly known as JSON. JSON messages are exchanged between Visual Studio Code and the debug adapter. This means that no matter what language you are using, the communication remains consistent and clear. The beauty of DAP is that it allows the same debugging interface to be used across different languages. So whether you are debugging Java, JavaScript, or Ruby, the Visual Studio Code interface stays the same. You do not have to learn a new set of commands or tools for each language. When you launch a debug session, Visual Studio Code automatically finds the right debug adapter for the language you are using. This adapter can run separately or be part of an extension. It manages all the communication with the underlying debugger, ensuring that you can set breakpoints, inspect variables, and step through your code seamlessly. This design not only simplifies the debugging process, but also encourages developers to create new debug adapters. As new programming languages and environments come into play, developers can build adapters that integrate with Visual Studio Code, expanding its capabilities. In summary, the Debug Adapter Protocol enables Visual Studio Code to support a wide range of programming languages by providing a standardized way to communicate with different debug tools. This allows developers to focus on debugging concepts rather than getting lost in the specifics of each language's debugging tools. With this approach, mastering debugging becomes more straightforward and accessible for everyone.